Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. Today we are diving deep into Phixero P7000Pro 2TB Nvme SSD, a PCIe Gen4 drive that promises insane 7000 megabytes read speeds without breaking the bank. Now, I don't have a tower PC that can fully take advantage of these Gen 4 speeds, so I'll be testing these in an external enclosure. This means we won't see the full 7000 megabytes potential due to enclosure limitations, but I'll show you real-world performance with large file transfers. Let me show you what makes this drive special. So right off the box we get the P7000Pro SSD and the copper heatsink, and I have to say this is where Pixero really step up their game. They replaced the typical aluminum heatsink with a high conductive copper sheet, plus they've included thermal silicone pads for better heat transfer. You also get a magnetic screwdriver, which is a nice touch. Trust me, you will appreciate this during installation. The drive itself follows the standard M.2 2280 form factor, so it will fit in pretty much any modern laptop or desktop. It's got that premium black finish and feels solid in the end. Let's talk numbers. So this is a PCIe Gen4 drive using NVMe 1.4 protocol. Pixero claims up to 7000 megabytes read speeds and 6600 megabytes write speeds. That's flagship territory at a mid-range price point. The drive uses 3D NAND flash memory with advanced features like where leveling, garbage collection, and over-provisioning for reliability. It is compatible with Windows 7 through 11, Ubuntu, and all the other Linux distributions. And here's the kicker, it works perfectly with PS5 and other gaming consoles. Pixero offers multiple capacity options from 512 all the way up to 4 terabytes, and they back it with a 5-year warranty. So as I told you, currently I don't have a computer, a tower PC that is compatible with Gen 4 PCIe, so I'll be using an external enclosure to test. Okay, so an important part, when using external enclosure, your speeds will be bottlenecked by the enclosure interface. USB 3.2 Gen 2 enclosures will cap you around 1000 megabytes, while Thunderbolt or USB 4 enclosures can push higher speeds but still won't reach the full 7000 megabytes potential of this drive. The copper heatsink fits perfectly in most enclosures, though you'll want to make sure yours has adequate clearance. The thermal management is actually more important in external enclosures since airflow is typically more restricted. Instead of synthetic benchmarks that wouldn't reflect the true performance due to my enclosure limitation, I'm going to show you real-world file transfer performance with large ISO files and other FT datasets. I will be copying multi-gigabyte ISO files. We are talking about 4 or 8 gigabytes each. Even though my USB 3.2 Gen 2 enclosure caps the theoretical speed around 1000 megabytes per second, this drive will still shows its quality. The transfer speeds are smooth and consistent without the speed drops you often see with cheaper SSDs. Okay, so I told you I don't have a modern PC with a PCIe Gen 4, so just to show you the solid state drive being applied on a PCIe Express card. I will apply it and you will see how you should install it on your computer. So if you have a NVMe slot on your motherboard, you don't need one of these cards. But if you have already one SSD on your machine and you plan to add more, you can purchase one of these cards and be able to use this super fast Phixero solid state drive. Okay, so really important to have the copper heatsink that will keep your solid state drive cooler and able to endure for several years without damaging the data or your operating system. Again, so this will be the NVMe enclosure that I have. So I will be making the test on my Mac Mini M4, and so this enclosure will not take advantage of the total speed of the solid state drive, but anyway, I will copy big ISO files and we will be able to see how fast it goes. Okay, so here I would have the option also to maintain the copper heatsink, but in the aluminum enclosure I think doesn't make sense to keep it. So instead we just will put the tape, the thermal tape, and then the solid state drive will be in contact directly with the enclosure, so all the heat produced will be passing through the entire case, and that will keep the solid state drive cooler. Okay, so it's really easy to apply, but remember, so if you buy one of these to be used on an SSD, an external enclosure, you will not take advantage of the real speed. It will be real fast, but it's not the point. So it's recommended to be used on an internal, directly on the motherboard or on a PCI Express card, and your computer will totally fly, because this is something that you cannot reach with the normal SSDs. Okay, so let's switch to the Mac Mini and I will show you how quick so this is the drive. I already changed the icon, so let me show you. 2 terabytes. And then this will be all the ISO, so Linux distributions, Windows 10, Windows 11 and some others that I will be copying to the solid state drive. And just to say that I was putting those files here on my desktop from a USB 3.1 to the desktop, and it took around 20 minutes to copy all those files to my desktop. So now let's do it directly from the Mac Mini solid state drive to this one, the Pixero, and let's check how fast it is. So 3, it's going really fast. So this will come really handy, so for people, for content producers, for photographers that normally move 4K files, so huge collections of footage. This comes really handy when editing, and you don't need to wait to transfer all the files. So you see, this is almost 30 gigabytes of files, and it took 1 minute or less to copy from my desktop to the Pixero solid state drive. So in summary, the Phixero P7000Pro 2TB is a high quality drive that shows its worth even when you can't fully unleash its potential. While my external enclosure setup prevents me from testing the full 7000 megabytes speeds, the superior components and consistent performance during sustained transfers prove this is a quality piece of hardware. So bottom line, buy these if you want quality storage that will grow with your system upgrades, or if you have a setup that can actually utilize these speeds right now. I hope you liked the video. If you did, drop a like and I'll catch you on a new one.